Hello, it's truly a great day to be alive. And in this unit, we will discuss the role that all adults play in supporting the mental wellness needs of all students. Everyone in the school setting can provide support and help ensure that school-related protective factors are in place. We will discuss how everyone can support students, and we will discuss what school-related protective factors are and how to make sure they are in place. Now remember, we may not see indicators that a student is in serious need of assistance. Students who are exhibiting internalized behaviors often go unnoticed by adults in the school setting because students with more externalized behaviors get more attention from adults. Therefore, it is critical that strong supports are in place across the school to meet the mental health needs of all students. Listen to these students talking about how adults interacted with them during times of crisis.
They gave me accommodations and an IEP for them to follow so that I wouldn't get triggered or angry and have a meltdown in the middle of class. And
there were some teachers who were willing to talk to me about what I was feeling and try to understand that I wasn't just trying to be difficult in class, and I wasn't just trying to not do my schoolwork or homework. So just talking to me, and some of them actually tried to figure out if I needed a timeout, like if I needed to step out, maybe collect myself and come back to class. So those things were helpful, having that a little bit of understanding for my situation.
Everyone plays a role in supporting the well-being of all our students. Every adult in the school has the ability to impact students. Watch these examples of adults in the school interacting positively with students as part of an overall caring school culture.
Hello, thank you for bringing your book. Have a seat. I saw your performance last night. We were just talking about this. Really? You were so awesome. I was so impressed. I'm like, I can't even believe it.
Hey, these are tough, I know.
What am I doing here?
Okay, all right, look, let me see if I can help you. Let's go all the way back to the beginning of this, yeah?
Okay.
Right here, okay.
Yeah. Now the lines.
I'm working on them.
Act 2, Scene 3 today.
Yeah.
You know it. All right.
Discuss with others all of the different adults that a child may interact with in your school on a daily basis. What role might those different people have in supporting the well-being of students in your school? Students come in contact with several adults during the course of an average school day. Bus drivers, school administrators, office personnel, nurses, custodians, cafeteria workers, and of course teachers. Every one of those adults can play a critical role in supporting the well-being of each student and having a positive impact on the student. Let's hear what students have to say about their interactions with positive adults.
I know that honestly I had the better relationships with coaches because of I think of everything that was going on in my life. Sports was a huge outlet, and a coach was a hero to me, regardless of what kind of sport it was.
One of the things that helped me the most as a young person was being able to connect with other young people who were experiencing some of the similar things that I was going through, because it made me feel like I wasn't alone and like it wasn't just me who was experiencing these types of things and having these struggles. So having supportive adults is great, but also having that socialization of your peers. So even if a young person doesn't feel like they're fitting in with a certain group of people, to maybe try to find people who have some similar experiences or who are willing to learn about what it's like to have a mental health challenge.
As you heard from the students, everyone plays a critical role in supporting the well-being of all of our students. Remember, Even when we do a good job of providing support within the school for our students, some students will have intensive needs and will require intensive services from school personnel and in some cases from personnel outside of the school. Let's talk more now about what you can do as part of your school community to help ensure the mental health well-being of your students. Protective factors are those actions, relationships, structures, and events that effectively protect students against mental illness. While no one factor is ever a sure thing, protective factors do offer a higher probability for positive outcomes, and the more, the better. Here is a list of some of the most common and effective protective factors. Notice that some occur outside the school and beyond our control, while others are specific enough that we often have the ability to create them for our students on a daily basis in the school. Enhancing the protective factors in a school environment fosters resiliency for all students in a way that is both positive and non-stigmatizing. Keep in mind that resiliency is the ability to adapt well in the midst of difficulty and hard times. Students with resiliency are better equipped to bounce back when they experience setbacks. While all protective factors buffer against the impact of obstacles to wellness and encourage effective coping with problems, one of the most important has been to be a young person having a significant, caring relationship with at least one trusted adult. Protective factors are a critical way to make sure you are supporting students. Equally important is building positive relationships with students. As we have mentioned, all adults in the school setting play a critical role in supporting students' mental wellness. Building positive relationships with students is the most important thing you can do. Let's talk more about this because it is so important and it is something all of us can do every day. Listen to these students give examples of what positive relationships look like from their perspective.
A positive relationship looks to me like consistency. Just basically being there, even whenever you're not needed, and can be able to be depended on when not called for. A positive relationship looks to me like accepting faults, flaws, and who that person is or myself, and having no judgment, and continuing to be a role model and being there and just being consistent. And I think a lot of times, including myself, that is a foundation for other young people to grow off of.
To me, a positive relationship means that I am talking to someone who, when I'm in their presence, I feel good. They're saying things to me that aren't going to be things that are going to get me in trouble if I were to go along with what they say. To me, positive people, they add happiness.
Ideally, students will describe the following. A positive relationship is someone the young person trusts, someone who makes them feel heard and understood, not judged, someone who shows interest in the young person and makes them feel significant, engages in reciprocal conversations, talking, not telling, listening non-judgmentally. Remember, when you think of providing support to students to support their mental well-being, the keys are to be sure to employ effective protective factors and to build positive relationships with the students in your school. Remember also, for some students, you may be the only adult who makes an attempt to build a positive relationship. A positive relationship with students can pay off for both the student and the adult. Also, remember that even with a strong support structure in place, some students are going to require more intensive service and supports than those typically found in schools. Take a moment here to discuss with others what you can do in your role to support the mental health and well-being of all students. Also, be so kind to discuss in your group what protective factors you can apply and role play an effective protective factor and what it may look like at your school.